So here we've got the word cautiously, and if you're cautious, you're very careful because you think something might be dangerous. Then we've got whenever, which means any time. And here we've got a semicolon. So if we read the full sentence, she nearly laughed whenever she looked at him. He was like a mouse. That would work if you had a full stop, but it would also work if you had a conjunction. So you could say, she nearly laughed whenever she looked at him because he was like a mouse. So when you're using semicolons, make sure whatever's written after the semicolon is closely linked or related to what you've written before it. If spat was Doobie's right hand, so here we've got a subordinating conjunction. If and if spat was Doobie's right hand, that's a subordinate clause. Here we've got the word through, but it's not through as we would normally use it. The sentence is the directness of his question through Zoe for a moment. So through here, through Zoe, means that Zoe's not sure how she should react to it. It's something that she was not expecting him to say. Here we've got an ing clause after speech. So, oh, nothing really, she said, trying to sound casual. So we've got some more information about how she was speaking. Here we've got the word hesitated, which is a better word than waited. And if you're hesitating, it suggests that you're not sure about something or you're uncertain. Here we've got a comma and then an ing clause at the end of a sentence. So he thought for a long time, trying to make up his mind about something. We've got the word regret. So if you regret something, you wished it hadn't happened. So Zoe began to regret mentioning it, means that she wishes she hadn't. Here we've got genuinely anxious to describe how Zoe was asking the question. So anxious means you're worried and concerned about something, and genuinely means you're honestly or you're sincerely. So genuinely anxious means she really was anxious. She wasn't just pretending. We've got the word suspiciously. So if you're suspicious of someone, you doubt their intentions, you're questioning their motives, you don't fully trust them. Here we've got the relative clause, who drove the boat. The man who drove the boat was killed. And we don't have that separated by commas because that's an essential part of the sentence. It wasn't just any man that was killed. The man who drove the boat was killed. Here we've got before he came with a comma, so an adverbial of time opener. And here we've got another semicolon. Before he came, it was awful. Everyone fighting everyone else. So notice everyone fighting everyone else gives you more information about what the sentence before the semicolon tells you. So before he came it was awful, and then the semicolon, and then we're told why it was awful. Before the storm, so an adverbial of time opener. And in your writing, make sure you always use commas after those kind of openers. A thought occurred to Zoe, which means basically a thought came into Zoe's head. Doobie was intending to betray him, means that intending is a better word than planning. She didn't like the way Doobie was manipulating everyone. So if you're manipulating someone, it means you're finding a sneaky way to control them. And that's what Doobie's doing in this book, because he manages to keep himself in charge. And it also suggests you're quite a dishonest person. If you're manipulative, then you're not very honest and you're probably not very kind. Munchkin had completely vanished, so vanished is a better word than disappeared. Here we've got Zoe shook her head, puzzled, but she was really worrying about something else. So as long as you use commas to separate it, you can just have one ed word to give you some more information, in this case about why or how Zoe shook her head. And if Munchkin told Doobie what she'd asked, she'd be in big trouble. So here we've got a subordinate clause opener, starting with the subordinating conjunction if. So always in your own writing, try to remember to put a comma to separate the subordinate clause from the main clause, which in this case is she'd be in big trouble.